But I think, the biggest thing for me is I want to hear your baseball story. I've obviously watched the movies, and I'm sure there's some parallels there. But, how did it start for you? Obviously, Santa Barbara guy. When did it start?
Well, I was a little guy in high school. I mean, I was the last guy in high school anybody would have thought would have a professional life or be playing against D1 teams. I mean, I was the little scrappy shortstop who at Santa Barbara High School, which was a really good sports tradition. I mean, Eddie Matthews.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesse Orozco.
Yeah.
Most pitching appearances in the history of baseball.
Yeah. No. He was great.
How about Sam Cunningham? How about Randall Cunningham?
I didn't know that.
How about Al Geiberger? How about Jamal Wilkes?
Oh wow.
I mean, so
nice.
We grew up with that.
Yeah.
So to be a starting shortstop as a junior on the high school team was meaningful. But I was little, and I choked up about 2 inches, and I hit 500, all singles.
There you go.
And I crowded the plate, and I just said, well, I'm going to put the ball in.
Yeah.
And I sprayed it all over.
Yeah.
And I did that for 2 years, but nobody would have thought this is college material, pro. And then between my senior year in high school and my freshman year of college, I suddenly was 6'1", 180.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like in 4 months.
That's awesome.
And now I was a third baseman in college at Westmont College, and suddenly scouts were saying, we like this guy.
Yeah.
And I did, I sort of warning track power my whole life. So my sophomore year in college, the Angels were going to draft me. And I said I wanted to finish college, which, stupid or not stupid, I was also sort of the basketball guy.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I finished college, I'll be better and everything, but probably if I'd have signed 2 years earlier, it might have helped.
Yeah.
Baseball. But I signed as a senior as a free agent, and at LAX, I signed a contract for $500 a month.
Oh, wow.
And they put me on 3 planes to Bluefield, West Virginia, in the rookie Appalachian League.
Yeah.
Did you play in that one?
I did not play in that one. I went to, my first one was the New York Penn League, because I was a college guy, and that's where they put me. But I know the Appy League. I've heard all about it.
Yeah. So from Santa Barbara to Bluefield, West Virginia. I'm writing a book about this, by the way, called The Church of Baseball for Knopf Publishing that I'm halfway through.
Beautiful. I can't wait.
About all of this and how my life turned into that movie.
Yeah.
But I go from Santa Barbara, one of the most beautiful cities on the planet, to a town in the heart of coal country where there are desperately sad men who've lost their legs, and they're on little carts begging for money, pushing themselves around, and they have signs that they have black lung disease. And that was a shock.
Yeah.
And there were other shocks quickly to come of the racism that was overt in the South.
For sure. Yeah, different.
Which I had seen in a certain way. I was always the minority on the team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At that level.
My mother went to high school with Jackie Robinson at Muir High School in Pasadena. So it was a different, things I had read about now were right in front of me. Yeah. And shocking.
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine. Yeah. I mean, especially you're coming from California. This is something you've grown up with. Yeah. And it's just not that way out there.
Yeah. So I landed in Bluefield, and a lot of good Bluefield stories. I don't know how much time we have.
As much as you want.
Well, I got to Bluefield, and I thought, I'd signed a contract with the Orioles. I'd made the team. I got there, and at 7 a.m, I was on flights all night.
Yeah.
And the season started the next day, and I realized I went to the ballpark like at 8 a.m. without sleeping, and there was like 50 guys and only 25 roster spots. And I thought,
oh, wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And the season started the next day on the road. The manager was a first-time manager, Joe Altobelli.
Okay.
Kind of a
absolutely.
And in his mid to late 30s. And Joe, who just died, by the way, I stayed in touch with throughout his life. And so I'm thinking, I haven't made this team. And there's 50 guys, and there's 3 guys per locker.
Oh, gosh.
And there's 3 big nails in each locker.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And so we worked out all morning, we worked out all afternoon. We had those heavy wool hand-me-down uniforms from the major leagues.
Yep.
You know, and you could still see the spring training number underneath it. There was like 138. And that night we played a game against the Tennessee College All-Stars.
Okay.
And Altobelli said to everybody who just got in that day, go on back to the hotel. And I realized, well, I've got a hotel. I'm not going to have a chance to be on the roster for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll stay.
Yeah.
So I stayed and sat in the dugout. And there's another story. When we were taking infield, he said, what position are you? So he didn't even know what I played.
Yeah.
I was a third baseman in college
Mm-hmm.
and a shortstop in high school. And I look out and there's 3 guys taking infield at third and 1 at short and 3 at second. And I said, I'm a shortstop. There's only 1 guy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You only got to beat one.
And that guy hurt his ankle in the 8th inning.
Okay.
In the 9th inning. And Joe turns around, I jump in front of him, and he says, get out there. And the first guy, and you know this, the first guy hit a line drive to my right, and I made a diving shorthand play, got up and threw him out. It was those kind of spectacular plays that are actually easy.
Yeah. Look better than they are, but yeah, you've been doing it your whole life.
They're great,
Yeah.
but they're reaction plays.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you don't make it, nobody notices.
Yeah, of course, it's a hit.
Much harder is the ball off the end of the bat that hits the edge of the grass and it's squirming, and those are the hard plays. They look
exactly. But how funny is it? Of course, in baseball sense, like you get in there, and of course the first ball's hit right at you, it's
better. I've dived.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the bottom of the inning, and by the way, we're losing 2-0, and Joe is really pissed off because we're supposed to be professional, we're losing to college guys.
Team.
And now I am so tired. In the bottom of the inning, we get the bases loaded, 2 outs, and of course I come up, and the guy throws 2 strikes right away.
Yeah.
Now he was a lefty, he didn't have anything, I promise you.
Okay.
But the lights were terrible, and I hadn't slept in 36 hours. Yeah. And I'm just saying, just don't throw some curveball, breaking ball that nips the plate that I don't want to. And he throws one down the pipe, and I triple in 3 runs. I'm the starting second base, shortstop the next day.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, that could have all happened differently, but it happened like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And 2 weeks later, I was moved up to the Cal League.
Oh, wow, okay. And so what, Cal League back then, which team were you
Stockton.
at? Stockton, okay, I played there. Didn't have a good outing, but I remember it well, yeah.
It's a real pitcher's park. It
Yeah.
used to be. I don't know what it is now.
It's brand new.
Oh,
now.
I've been to them.
Yeah.
They had a reunion of our team that won the championship.
Oh, really? Okay, nice.
It's a nice, it was funky before.
So what was the Cal League like back then?
Hot.
Hot, yeah.
Until I played in the Texas League.
Yeah, exactly,
That was really
right?
hot.
Yeah.
It was Modesto, Bakersfield, Visalia, San
A lot of the
Jose,
same.
Reno.
Yeah. Reno.
Oh,
interesting.
We love Reno.
Oh, yeah, of course, right?
5,000 feet. It was a
Yeah,
mile
yeah,
high.
exactly.
The infield was like a brickyard. Everybody had 380. in
Yeah,
Reno.
exactly. Pitchers hated it, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I love Reno. And you get the $1.99 breakfast at the loser's breakfast at the casino.
The casino, yeah.
You had $3 a day meal money in A-ball.
Okay.
And even back then, that didn't go anywhere.
No, of course, yeah.
Because, of course, the first dance at the strip club.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the funny thing about baseball is that everybody feels like, the ball players go home after the game and, they're getting ready for the next night. And it's like, it's quite the opposite. Like, you're just trying to get rid of that day at the park as quickly, especially an 0 for 4 or a bad outing. It's like, how do I get back to baseline, so to speak? So, no, that's what I'll say this, the Bull Durham scene where Crash is in the booth, Annie's talking to Max Patkin. That brought me back as much as any. Just like that, like I missed that, guy just enjoying his drink in a bar trying to get rid of the game. Yeah. And that's, God, I love that.
Well, that's why I started drinking, I think, because I never had to drink in college.
Okay.
Not a beer. My family didn't drink. It took me about 3 days in baseball to start drinking.
And what was the drink of choice?
Well, it was whatever's cheap.
Yeah, exactly. What you could afford.
Beer, and if I really splurged, it'd be a Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And then I later, went to sort of fancy single malt scotches, and in my dotage to gin martinis, but that's still my two drinks. It's either a gin night or a scotch night.
Nice, beautiful. I like it. I like it. So, so you go through the Cal League, and then
I got hurt in the Cal League in the second year. My first full year in the Cal League, I broke my hand. And after a pitcher,
yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Didn't slide into second when he should have on a force play. He started to slide and he came in, and I went to tag him, and it wasn't a force play, and then he stands up, and the back of my hand hit my right hand hit his knee.
Oh, geez. Okay, yeah.
And then, so I had a cast, and 3 weeks later, and then I realized they gave my number to another guy, Tommy Keys from Florida State. So 3 weeks later, I cut the cast off and showed up at the game and said, I'm good to go. So they put me back in.
Okay.
And then a week later, the GM comes and says, hey, I just got a call from the doctor. He says, you're due in for a checkup. And he says, you've been playing for a week. I said, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So that was also minor league stuff. There wasn't even a trainer in baseball. You didn't get a trainer to your AA.
Really?
No trainer.
So you're out on an island.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, get back in there.
Yeah.
I know. There's something to that.
Yeah. There is something to that. And there's also something not to that.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so and then I got back in the lineup and tore all the ligaments in my knee in a collision at first base. And so that second year was a bust. And then the next year I came back again, and I had my best year in the minors. We won the California League, and I led the league in a few things. And
beautiful.
And was invited to Florida Instruction League, which was an honor. There was 25 guys, and I hit over 300 in Clearwater.
Nice.
So I jumped from A ball to AAA, which was a big jump.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's Rochester.
And then I went down to AA because a guy got hurt, and I could play every day. And then the next year I went back to Rochester, and we had this fabulous team.
And who was on that team?
Well, Gretchen Baylor and Johnny Oates, who later got in the majors and managed. Yeah, and died sadly too young. We had Rorik Harrison, we had Mike Ferraro, we were loaded. Terry Crowley, Rich Coggins, who later was the center fielder for the Yankees. It was just a team of. It was a team of great, tough, hard-nosed guys who had a lot of fun together and played really hard and just beat the heck out of everybody.
And that's what I go back to whenever, that's the whole reason we started this thing is that's what I miss the most. Like that, like you mentioned, hard-nosed guys play together, love being around each other, the locker room, going to the bar after as a group. That's what I miss the most, and that's special.
Yeah, the locker room. I was, when Donald Trump was saying all this really profane stuff about women, and then it was being defended as locker room talk, I got in front of some friends. I said, locker rooms don't talk like that. I promise you.
Yeah.
Locker rooms. I was never in a locker room that talked nastily about women.
Yeah.
Locker rooms. I mean, guys usually are self-effacing. They talk about their failures, how bad they were in bed.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How ill-equipped they were for the occasion. How, they're 0 for 14 and they're suicidal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And, and if, you're called a jughead and you're a pizza head, I mean, the locker rooms are liberating to me.
Yeah.
They are actually not, at least the ones I was in, sort of this snake pit of this cesspool of sexism.
No, I would agree.
So I thought the locker rooms were one of the healthiest places I ever was.
Well, and it's the place that kept you accountable, right? If you started getting too big for your britches, man, you were brought back to earth before you could even, think about it.
Yeah, exactly right. There was something very healthy about the insult in the locker room.
Yeah.
And the old expression, the metaphor, well, we're all naked together. It's actually true in the locker room.
Yeah.
And it's true in the sense of if you're going bad, everybody feels for you.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there is huge sympathy for a pitcher who's
can't get
3
it
bad outings.
Yeah.
And a guy who's struggling at the plate. Why? Because we've all been there.
Yep. Yeah.
And the truth is, if you go 4 for 4, guys will be on you that one of those hits was cheap. And,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like,
Yeah,
give
yeah.
it to me. I lined out yesterday. You didn't.
Exactly. Yeah, you told me it was going to even out. No, I know. That's that's again back to the great thing, and that's the thing that we miss. So you're moving on. You're in AAA. You're in AA. At what point is this? I mean, do you think you're going to make it at this point to the big leagues, or where are you at mentally?
Well, I know I'm borderline.
Yeah.
But the thing, I know I'm never getting there with the Orioles.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know they were loaded. Yeah.
They're just loaded. And
Yeah.
they're trading guys. I mean, Mike Ferraro, who's a little bit of Crash Davidson, was our third baseman. He was 4-year in a row International League All-Star third baseman. He was backup to Brooks Roberts.
Yeah, of course. What are you going to do?
And they wanted him to play every day to be sharp.
Yeah.
In case Brooks got hurt, he'd be ready, rather than sit on the bench in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So he didn't get a chance to the big leagues till he was like 32 with an expansion team, and it was too late.
Yeah.
And Ferraro hit 300 every year. He's
Yeah.
in ball 4. He hit 440 for the Pilots.
Oh my
in
gosh.
spring training
Oh my
somewhere.
gosh.
And, got traded. So, at any rate, or he came down to Rochester at that
Yeah.
point, somewhere. So, what I'm thinking is, and you know this is true, when you sign, especially the higher you go, most of the guys are really good players who have similar skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
And, each of us had something we were better at than other things.
Yeah.
And we're better than, most of the college guys. This is the best of the college guys,
Yep.
or the best of the high school JC guys.
For sure.
3 or 4 years later.
Yeah.
And so the ones that make it, and some that go to the Hall of Fame become all-time greats, are the ones that just mentally have some way of dialing in and getting the most
sure.
out of their talent.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's a handful of guys that, the equivalent of the wide receiver one's 4'2".
Yeah. They're just, no matter what they do, they're going to be
what?
successful. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Or, there's the pitchers, there's the, some guy that just throws the ball through a brick wall.
Yeah.
That's nasty. So there's a handful of those guys, but a lot of those guys won't make it because a lot of those don't have the mental thing.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Or they get hurt.
Or they get hurt, yeah.
I mean, people will ask me, who's the best you ever played? I mean, 3 guys that got hurt, you never heard of them.
Yeah.
They had stuff that was unhittable.
Yeah.
They got hurt and able.
You bring that up, and I immediately go to a kid that I played with, 19-year-old, hitting 100. Back when 100 was 100, not like now where everybody throws 100. And 19 years old, and had this finger issue named Adam Miller. And this guy, he's an A-ball AA and just crushing people. I mean, it's 7 innings, it's 10 strikeouts, 2 hits, threw strikes. Wasn't wild, could command the baseball, but kept getting hurt and couldn't get healthy and didn't have the career. I mean, I don't think he ever got to AAA.
Yeah.
But you asked me who some of the best guys I played with or played against. Adam Miller's on that list.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
And that's like you said, that's part of the washout cycle. It's like you would think, it's just the talent, but it's not. It's the mental side. It's luck with injuries. It's luck with being on the right team. Like if you have Jeter or Brooks Robinson in front of you, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's a lot involved, but I wouldn't obviously trade those years for anything.
No,
They
right.
prep you for everything I've ever done. I learned how to do that.
Well, I go back to you're 0 for 20 in pro ball.
I'm over 32.
0 for 32. It gets no worse. Like the rest of life, barring catastrophe, there's never going to be a worse time than feeling 0 for 32. Or for me, it's like can't get it out in the Texas League.
Yeah.
It's like just the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I remember in rookie league, in the Appy League, they had a guy, the Salem Pirates had a guy, Richie Zisk, who later became an all-star power hitter for the Pirates.
Yeah.
But now it's in rookie league. He's probably like 19 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
And he went from hitting 350 to 250. It didn't matter because he went up anyway. And he hit this screaming line drive. He was 0 for 30.
Yeah.
Screaming line drive to left center. I mean, just And Donnie Baylor, who was like 18 or 17, right out of Austin, Texas, who turned down a full ride to play football at UT.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't
play
know
baseball.
that. Yeah.
And he was like built like this Greek god. He flew. I mean, he was a
Yeah.
great guy.
Yeah.
The late Donnie Baylor. I love Donnie.
Yeah.
He's streaking through this night sky, the night with bad lighting, and he reaches out and he bare hands Zisk's ball just before it hits the ground. He caught it barehanded to make him now over 32.
Oh my God.
Zisk went nuts. He just went nuts. So, if you can handle that,
Yeah. Most of life becomes pretty easy.
it's going to get better. It's going to get worse. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so at what point is Bull Durham kind of in the ether? Like, is that, are you thinking about that back then?
No, no. I know Bobby Gritch says, I was always taking notes in the bus. It's not true. I wasn't. I was like everybody else. I was
trying to pass time.
No, I didn't like the card games. Like, I went to movies.
Okay, yeah.
I went to movies every day on the road just to get out of the damn hotel and into a better air conditioning.
Yeah, right.
And I go to any movie.
Yeah.
Whatever rating. G to X.
Yeah.
It got me from 1 to 3:30.
Yeah, exactly.
And you try to get a couple guys to go with you so you can share the cab ride to the ballpark.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That was my early life. Not bad.
No, good. Yeah, that's better than most.
And I was falling in love with movies without knowing it. I mean, years later, I just thought, let me try that.
Yeah.
So I was not planning to make movies. I was trying to figure out how to lay off the low and away slider.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
And
Years later, because people would say, why'd you get out of baseball? And I would always joke, the low and away slider, because it gets a laugh among baseball guys. But
Yeah.
it was other things. But I met with the great Eric Davis. And Eric Davis would have been a Hall of Famer, except he's one of those guys that kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, his skill level.
Oh, yeah,
his
crazy.
First few years of the majors were, I'd rather have him out there than DiMaggio. I mean, he was that
he was
good.
Yeah, crazy good.
And kept getting hurt. And so we were at a boxing event, because I used to go to the fights all the time. And we were chatting, and I got to know him, and I said, and I made that joke, low and away slider. And he said, I got to the big leagues, and that was killing me. And so we went to Pittsburgh for the first time, and at 3 p.m, I'm warming up, and I see Wilbur Stargell, who was, of course, known as Pops, and he was like the godfather to the black players.
Yeah.
And my teammate said, you can talk to Pops. The other team. So he goes over and he says, hello, Mr. Stargell. My name is Eric Davis. I play. And he's like, I know all about you, young man.
Yeah.
Doing fine. And Eric said, can I ask you a question? He says, how do you hit the slider? And Stargell says, you don't miss the fastball.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And I thought, God, I wish somebody would have told me that.
I know. So good, I know. And then
you don't swing at it unless it's a really bad slider.
Yeah, exactly, because you got no chance.
A good slider's a ball.
Yeah.
Or it just catches a touch and you can't hit it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're tapping it to the pitcher, maybe. Yeah. That's so good. I love it.
Don't miss the fastball.
No, don't miss the fastball.
And guess. There's 2 things.
There you go.
Somebody would have told me those things.
I'm taking that to practice today. Hey guys, guess and do not miss the fastball. But seriously though, I mean, like you said, a well executed slider is unhittable. It's just, I mean, that's why it's thrown.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. So you're finishing up. How does your baseball career end?
Well, we had this great season where we won the pennant and then the Governor's Cup. We have to beat all the other teams.
Yeah.
And then we played the American Association champion Denver Bears. It was like a year before the Colorado Rockies went in.
Okay.
And they used to call it the Junior World Series. I don't know if they do it anymore. It's the 2 triple.
No, I think it's still the Governor's Cup, because actually when I was with Buffalo, yeah.
Anyway, so the champion of the International League played the champion of the American Association, and we won. And then in the winter, I actually got traded, which I wanted, because when Gritch went up, I go, oh.
Yeah.
And I got traded to Detroit, which was Toledo, AAA, the Mud Hens, where I'd played.
Yeah.
And I wondered, why did Detroit want me? And I remembered I just killed the ball against Toledo in a series.
Yeah.
So their scouts were there. And
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
who's this guy?
Yeah.
So, and I was married and had a baby at the time, and it was simply time not to move to Toledo,
Yeah.
in my life. I was 25, but when you're 25 then you think you're 50.
Yeah, it's
80.
different, yeah. Yeah.
And so I went back to school, to be
Okay.
honest.
Nice.
And I just walked away. And, I got called, Bobby called, another player said, you got to keep going. And I thought about it hard. It was just, I got to turn and walk away. And when I walked away, I didn't even look at baseball for a while. It was like, I don't want to think
Needed a
about it.
break.
Yeah. I'm either going to be all in or I can't deal with it because all my friends are playing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then I followed my friends, many of whom had big league careers, and occasionally they'd come to town and call, and I'd go to a game and we'd go drink, and that was fun.
Yeah.
But Gritch was a little different because he was from Long Beach, and then he ended up with the Angels, so it was easy to stay in touch with.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because, very similar thought of like you see guys that you felt you were on par with, and then they have 10-year big league careers, and you're like, man, like, and obviously, like, I did not deserve a 10-year career. I struggled when I need to pitch well, but the point is you think about this alternate universe of like, if a couple things would have happened, maybe I'm there. Maybe that's
or maybe if I'd have focused on that differently, I'd worked on that.
Yeah.
I mean, there were so many things. When I played, you weren't allowed to lift weights.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, they thought it made you too tight.
Too tight, yeah.
And then my last year or something, this Nautilus thing came out, which wasn't deadlifting.
Yeah.
And Gritch went from hitting no home runs to 38. I mean, it was
Oh,
unbelievable.
wow.
He had no home runs in the Texas League.
Oh, wow.
And he had 38 in Rochester.
Yeah, that's insane.
But everybody, I remember Major League guys were going from 5 to 30. And so weightlifting would have been one thing. I think just different focus. I always dreamed that I would like to send me down to the Puerto Rican League or the Mexican League for winter ball. I'll pay my way.
Yeah.
Because I want to try some things. I don't want the owner to freak out if I'm hitting 050 for the first 2 weeks.
Exactly.
I'm playing for free. I'm going to win games with my glove in other ways. But I want to try some things that I can't afford to try.
No.
You
can't do that.
I want to try some things where I stand on the plate, like I did in college.
Yeah.
Or I want to stand some things where I choke up and move up in the box. I don't know. I just want to mess around without it being
I agree.
record forever.
Well, that's the thing too. And if you're hitting 050, I mean, you're done. You're gone. You can't do that. Like, it's such a performance based situation where.
But you can hit 050 and then 500 if you suddenly dial into it.
For sure.
Because there's a lot of hitters. You don't see anybody choke up and slap it around anymore.
No. Nobody. I know.
I mean, the last guy to do that was Tony Gwynn, one of the greatest hitters of all time.
Of course, yeah.
He didn't choke up. He used a 31-inch bat, I think.
Yeah, 32.
32.
Yeah.
31. I mean, that's like choking up.
Yeah, exactly, right.
We used 35-inch bats.
Well,
stupid.
And then Bonds is the same way. Bonds 34, and he'd choke up to where it was like 32.
Corey Seager chokes up 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
So there's stuff to try without being on the clock would have been fun, but it was time to move on.
Yeah. I know the feeling, man. And was it painful at all? I mean, tough to believe? I mean, obviously a little bit to...
It was painful.
Yeah.
That's why I just had to turn my back on it for a while. And in a certain way, years later, 15 years? I mean, I didn't even know I was going to be writing or in movies, but that evolved. I went to graduate school in Arizona in visual arts and moved back to LA.
Okay.
Southern California, which was even Santa Barbara, where I grew up. I consider myself Southern Californian because, as you know, in high school we played all over, and in college and in tournaments. I mean, from Santa Maria to San Diego.
For sure. Yeah.
And throw in Fresno and Bakersfield sometimes. And there's like 1 trillion high schools and colleges.
Yeah.
So,
there really
leagues
is.
and everything.
And
so,
trillion players too that you're competing against.
Yeah. But so I came back here, and that led gradually, and that's another story, but it took me writing at night while I was doing a lot of blue collar jobs. I mean, digging ditches, actually, not metaphorically.
Yeah.
And I started painting houses and doing things like that. And one day I sold something, and I thought, wow, I mean, you can get paid to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that led to a writing career, which led to a directing career.
Yeah.
And then what happened was I'd had 2 movies made, that I didn't direct, but I was on the set and I thought I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
This fits me. This process, working with actors and players, it's very much. There's something very athletic about it, to be honest. There's a lot of prep, and then the game is on.
And it's performance.
And the performance, and the clock is running, and then you go home and you figure out what you did.
Yeah.
You got to do it again.
Okay.
Except it's not 7:00 game; it's 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
game.
got it. Yeah.
So I like that, and I like working with people like that. And so I said, the only way I'm going to get a movie made as a director is if I write a script that people like, and it's a subject that nobody can say nobody can say they know more about it than I do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you lived it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like Oliver Stone wrote Platoon. He lived it,
Yeah, exactly.
and that made his career.
For sure.
You know, and I read Platoon way back then, and it was like, it's a great script. Say, wow, this was written by somebody inside in the trenches, not, you know. So I thought, okay, and that led me to write the script, and it's kind of a miracle that it got made. It got made. At first I was thinking of Kurt Russell for it, but he was unavailable because he played some baseball in the minors.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I'd finished it, people were telling me about Kevin Costner, who had played high school ball, and he went to Cal State Florida. I don't think he made the team, but he became friends with Augie Garrido.
Yeah.
And he's a real athlete. Kevin's a good athlete. Most actors think they're athletes.
Yeah, no,
He
you can
actually
tell.
isn't.
Yeah, swing looks good.
He hit 2 out. You can't tell on camera. He hit 2 out.
Okay.
And he threw guys out. And we'd have guys running on him. And
that's cool. I didn't know that. Oh, that's great.
So Kevin got behind the script, and that's how it got made. It barely got made because people were afraid of baseball, and it's not a foreign. It doesn't sell foreign very well, baseball. But Kevin really helped get that thing made.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just knowing the scene that stuck out to me, and this probably says a lot about my career, sadly, but when Crash gets released at the end, and I loved that because there's 2 things. The way it was shot is awesome because you see like the aimless stare, because I know that stare. I've been that stare twice, and the other thing, and just how it, like, baseball isn't really fair sometimes. No. The guy's kicking butt. Is done his part to bring Nuke up to the big leagues, and now it's like, hey, thanks for your service. Yeah. You can move along now. And it's just, God, like, that scene to me grabbed me because it's like, A, I've been there as the guy being released in that 1,000-yard stare, and B, you just know how unfair the game is.
And he doesn't say anything. He knows.
No, he knows. Yeah, yes, he knows the game.
He just nods and he walks, and we see him in a bar later, and then he walks the street. Now, unlike when you got released, he had Susan Sarandon waiting.
Yeah, exactly. Much different. My first release story is I get released by the Rockies. Didn't have the greatest relationship with the guy who released me, and I literally, have a similar moment where I'm like, 1,000-yard stare. I'm thinking to myself, is this it? Am I done? And even if I get a chance again, am I done? Walk down the stairs, old Tulsa Driller Stadium, the old one. All the way, I'm staring out at the field, and literally I hear screaming from the distance, "Where'd that guy go? Where'd that guy go?" And it's the manager's yelling, thinking like maybe having to grab paperwork and then sign something right, but just couldn't care less about me. Like just move on from this guy as quick as possible, and that's the game. The game will move on from you, and like this.
Yes.
And as much as you think it's important, like you're an important part of it, it just keeps moving.
Yeah. When I was in Bluefield, like the second day after I made the team, there was a guy, one of the 3 nails in our locker, guy gets called out to Billy's office. And he comes back and he's like in tears. He's been released. And he packs up and everybody's looking around like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've seen this
For
right
sure.
in front of us. This execution, public execution. And as soon as he leaves, some guys say, "Man, that's cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded." And the other guy, the other nail in my locker room guy, says, "Would you rather be you or him?"
Yeah.
And everybody goes, oh, I get it. And about 2 weeks later, that guy was gone.
Yeah.
So I was the only guy left in my locker.
I know. It's
cold-blooded.
It's cold-blooded.
And that scene when Crash gets released, I'm glad it moved you because it was supposed to, but it's set up early in the movie when the other guy gets released who's trying to get chicken bone crosses on his back.
Yeah.
And you know, and he's pleading, I hit the ball hard, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm almost out of this slump
I
and
know.
all that, which we also recognize.
Yeah.
But I was setting up so that when Crash says it, he knows. He's wiser. He's,
Yeah.
you know, he says nothing.
No, I know. Yeah, because again, he's brought up in the game. He gets it. And I think the other one that really stood out was got to be one of the best character intros ever. Crash and Nuke. It's like, hit me. I'm 5 feet away with the ball. Misses him, ball 4. I mean, just perfect line.
And then he decks him, and then at the end, you know, when Nuke hits Crash, because Crash is drunk.
Of course, yeah.
And Crash is still the teacher. Which hand did you hit me with?
Yeah.
Just never hit a guy with your pitch. Never hit a drunk with your pitching hand.
I know, it's so good. And the other thing I loved is, you know, you Crash's buddy who he's playing pool with the place and, you know, hit 376, not 371.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, you hit 305 instead of 300. You're going to tell me, no, I hit 305. I didn't hit 300.
Right. I know what I hit, and I know the low ones and I know the high ones.
Yeah, exactly. And the other side of that is like, you know, a guy that can hit 376 is now owning a pool hall. And it's just, you know, the game, there's so much glamour that we see on TV, but there's so many great players that are now just doing normal stuff. It just, you know, living life.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't even get to the pension.
Yeah.
I mean, because the pension is, I think, 4 years or 5 in the majors.
And 5 and then 10, I think, is the full one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's every day on a roster for the equivalent of 5
yeah,
years.
exactly.
Not that many guys get that.
No, it's hard.
And
Yeah.
the guys that do don't need the pension.
No, exactly. Yeah, they got paid. Especially now.
Yeah, especially now.
No, I know. It's what a game.
I'd love to hear you talk about when Ron Shelton, the baseball player, became Ron Shelton, the director. Like, we talk a lot about like how the hard part is the identification of like, I'm Zach, the baseball player, now know baseball. Who am I? And people really struggle like years. And like, if you want to ask about the transition to when did you ever feel like I'm not the baseball guy anymore? I'm the director or the writer or whatever that is.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So I guess, you know, question is when did you turn from Ron Shelton, the baseball player, to Ron Shelton, the director?
Well, it was a transition. First, it was Ron Shelton, the "What the hell are you going to do with your life now" guy, and that evolved into a aspiring writer.
Okay.
And so, the thought that I might be able to make a living as a screenwriter was a dream.
Yeah.
But nobody knew I played baseball. In graduate school or in my neighbors or my new friends, nobody knew I had this baseball life behind me. I didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And because the walking away was painful.
Yep.
And because, you know, people in your hometown think you're a failure.
Yeah. No, I know that feeling. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean? I played AAA with the Rochester Red Wings. We won the thing.
Hey, Bobby Grich in front of me. What do you want?
I'm now in the Rochester Red Wing Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay? That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I got a
agree.
bobblehead. God damn it. I
Yeah,
got a bobblehead. And one half is a baseball player, and the other half's a film director.
I love that. I need to go find that.
Two sides. You can get on eBay, but I'll give you one next time I see you.
Okay, deal.
I have a nice fresh box on the.
Beautiful.
So, I didn't even when I wrote a movie called Under Fire, which I didn't direct. I did second unit directing on it.
Okay.
Which is a very political movie about the war in Nicaragua, and it got written up, great review in the New Yorker from Pauline Kael, who was the world's toughest critic, and she loved it. And there's a baseball reference in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But because, and this really is getting into the weeds, but it's relevant. When I went down to Nicaragua 2 years after the revolution with a bunch of news guys who covered the revolution down there, they took me to the city of Leon, and in the city of Leon, there was a big cathedral in the middle of town, and there was bullet holes all up in one of the towers, the church towers.
Okay.
And they'd said, well, when LaGuardia, which was Somoza's bad guy army, was here, the rebels went, and they had the snipers up there, and the rebels went and got a local 18-year-old kid who was the best pitcher in Leon. And he didn't really have any political views, except he knew that the bad guys were in the tower.
Yeah.
And they got him up, they snug him up the back into the other tower, and he threw hand grenades like a pitcher and blow up the guys.
Oh, wow.
So I put that in.
Yeah.
And I thought, it seems like a Hollywood scene, but
Yeah.
it happened.
It's, yeah.
And then I realized, and then that kid gets killed by a sniper. But then I started realizing, wait a minute, Dennis Martinez is from Nicaragua.
Yeah,
He's
that's
one of the
right, yeah.
great pitchers.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
He really
Look at
should.
his
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah. Oh, no, it's crazy.
And he's a Nicaraguan. And they're baseball crazy.
Yeah.
So I had that, and then I have this kid talking about Dennis Martinez, and he's shot by a sniper,
Oh, geez.
played by Ed Harris.
Yeah.
And the critic, Pauline Kill, picked up on that and did some research and discovered I played minor league ball. Until that time, nobody
Interesting.
knew it. And
Okay.
a fact checker for New Yorker called to say, "Did you play minor league?" I said, "Yeah, you can look it up."
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So the cat was out of the bag, and then everybody wanted to talk about
baseball.
you played baseball.
Yeah.
So then I thought, wow, if I'm going to direct a movie, why don't I go exercise and face all that experience and embrace it again? Because I kind of had not embraced it.
Yeah.
And so the movie was my re-embrace of it
Yeah.
and saying, yeah, that was me, and there's a lot to celebrate here.
Was it cathartic doing Bull
Oh, yeah.
Durham? Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine.
Hugely cathartic.
Yeah.
And telling the stories that we're telling now,
Yeah.
because obviously I don't live in the past. I'm not one of those guys that, let me tell you my war stories. But if I find another old soldier, I'll share
Yeah.
them with
Yeah.
you.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. I know. That's the deal. And I mean, was there a basis for Crash, or was there a basis for Annie, or people that kind of along the way?
Every character, I think, is a combination of a lot of characters plus imagination. Crash, there was a lot of guys I'd met who I had great respect for, who had a cup of coffee in the big leagues, and because like Mike Ferraro's not Crash, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of Mike Ferraros out there
Yeah.
who never really got the chance at the time, or
Yeah.
they were in the wrong
Yeah.
organization.
Wrong place,
or
wrong time.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what if Max Muncy didn't get picked up by the Dodgers? He'd been released. How about Justin Turner?
Yeah.
He'd been released by the Mets,
Yeah.
who were terrible.
No, I know.
He got signed out of a Cal State Fullerton alumni game.
Oh,
Did you
I
know
didn't
that?
know that. No, I did not
Yeah.
know that. Oh, wow.
He was back playing. He didn't have a job.
Oh, my God.
And the third base coach in the Dodger organization guy used to play at Cal State Fullerton. He was a great major league third baseman. What's his name? Anyway, he was at the
Tim Wallach?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Wallach saw
yeah.
him, and he called the Dodgers and said, you got to look at this guy. He
Yeah.
just-
Looks great. Still
he
can
hit
pull.
280 when the Mets. Why did the Mets release him at 280?
No, I don't even get me started. I don't know.
Anyway, so Crash is the guy who kind of loves something more than it loves him back.
Yeah, and I think we all know that feeling.
And that could be a person, it could be an occupation, it could be anything. And he's different from the other players.
Yeah.
But he's also exactly like the other players.
Yeah.
And he loves the other players.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to be there, and he's loving it anyway.
Yeah.
Annie, the idea of Annie I had my whole life, and she's a little bit of a combination of women that had nothing to do with baseball. But I remember in AAA there was a woman who was kind of the veteran woman who all the players knew, and she'd kind of pick out one guy a year.
Yeah.
But in AAA it'd be more like a veteran.
Yeah, exactly. Not the young guy. Yeah.
She was the head of what we used to call the stews union, the flight attendants, the stewardess.
Okay.
But she was based in Rochester, and so
Okay.
she knew she could fix flights. She could.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
There was a little bit of Annie and her, and then there was a woman in Stockton who was like not Annie's age, but she was college grad, and most of the players weren't. And she had a guy a year who was usually the college guy, usually a more sophisticated player, and she would also babysit the handful of
Yeah.
babies there were.
Yeah.
So Annie came out of a lot of stuff and just kind of imagination.
Yeah. I love it.
Nuke is everywhere. There's nuke
Oh,
for everywhere. There's a million nukes.
They're all over the minor leagues right now as we
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
Oh, especially the Porsche.
Yeah.
And the other classic, playing guitar and you can't play the instrument. Like, there's so many of those guys running around in pro ball.
They don't know the words. They don't know the chords.
Exactly, nothing. But they got a guitar and they think they're an artist. It's oh God, I love it. I was probably that guy at one point myself, but not with the arm. So, good stuff. Well,
I would say, let me finish the answer to
Yeah.
the question. So, I walked away from baseball, and once I got a movie off the ground 15 years later to direct, I could call myself a director, but I hadn't really thought of myself as a ball player or even ex-ball player until Bull Durham.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, I didn't even watch World Series games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not like a lot of the people we've talked to. Same thing. Like they need like a 2-year break. Like
Yeah.
I was like that.
Yeah.
The only thing I would watch was Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of piqued my interest, being a lefty and not nearly anywhere near the stuff, but it's just there was that connection. I think the Koufax thing too, because that was my dad's favorite pitcher growing up, and so that was this one thing we shared was like, okay, Kershaw's on the mound, so I'm watching that one. But other than that, I mean, it was nothing for a couple of years.
Nuke was supposed to be a lefty, but I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
He's a perfect lefty.
Yeah, I know. Really is. Yeah. The personality is spot on. All the weird stuff. And I think the other thing I loved is like breathing out of your eyelids and all the weird stuff. Like you do anything not to think about the game. Like, because the game will just wear you down mentally. And just if you can create something else.
In Tin Cup, we did the same thing where
Yeah.
Cheech says, take the change out of your left pocket, put it in your right pocket, put the golf tee over your right, and turn the. No, you're not thinking about anything.
Yeah.
Hit the ball.
In the streak side too, right? Like if you think you're winning because you're not sleeping with somebody, well, you are going to keep. It's sad. I'm a high school baseball coach. It should not be that big of a deal, but I have like this 2-hour routine. Drives my wife nuts because like, our baby, got to be back at this time because I got to go do my run. Then I got to go to the beach and do this and that. It's high school baseball, and I'm not playing. I'm just managing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but that's baseball.
Yeah, but you need those.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing but an unknown, and the game is an unknown. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you really don't.
And you need, I mean, who was the great left-hand hitter for the Red Sox? He had 3,000 hits and he quit. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yastrzemski?
No, just bad on forgetting names of my old age. Hall of Fame, 3,000 hits, left-handed hitter, great, kind of a Mattingly kind of swing. Boom. Anyway, but he had that routine. How can we not think of his name?
Outfielder, right?
Yeah, or third baseman.
Okay, I'm with
Anyway,
you.
but he would eat chicken.
Oh, Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
Yeah, Wade Boggs. Yeah.
He had 7 recipes for chicken or something, and he did every Monday, and he took him. He was like the guy in the famous book Phineas Fogg in 180 Around the World in 80 Days. He would take the same number of steps from the car to the locker to the thing every day, and he had to like be in his seat at 156 or whatever. I mean, absolute obsessive compulsive.
I know, it's sad.
But he hit the shit out of the
He
ball.
did. He got 3,000 hits. Like, must have done something right.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But the routine, there is a ball player needs a routine. I do believe that.
It's like you said, everything's unknown. It's the one thing you can control is your routine. And then once the ball's pitched, or as a pitcher, once it leaves your hands, totally out of your control.
Yeah. Well, that's what I try to teach my son is you got to figure out what you can control. What you can't control is what you don't swing at.
Yeah.
I mean, you can eliminate, for the most part, except for bad calls or a rare pitch, swinging at pitches you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because there's only a few bad ball hitters out there.
Yeah, no, I know. And you bring up Max Muncy, that's his greatest attribute, right?
So, okay, take that out. Now, figure out what's your strike zone.
Yeah.
On a high fast, can you hit the high fastball? If you can't, lay off it.
Yeah.
And hope you get the stride through it and get the call. Okay, so you just reduce the strike zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you control that.
Yes.
For instance.
Yeah.
And you get a fastball first pitch, and it's in the zone, hit it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. It's the best one you're going to get, possibly.
What do you not want? You don't want to be 0-2.
Yeah, no. You don't want to be in slider count.
Yeah. And you can control the bat weight, the bat length, where you hold it. There's a lot of things you can control.
Yeah, it's true.
There's a lot you can't, which is Trevor Bauer's stuff.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
One thing I'd love to hear you talk about a little bit that I've never really heard is people talk about Bull Durham and they kind of like glaze over it a little bit just because you have so much other stuff to talk about. But can you talk a little bit about like the year after it came out, the reception, like because then all of a sudden you're sort of like the baseball guy again. Like, can you kind of just talk about,
Sure.
Yeah.
like whether it's just strangers, the media, Hollywood, but also old teammates and people reaching out. So I'd love to hear you dig into that a
Yeah,
little bit.
I mean, I'll ask them. So did you get a lot of reception from old teammates, fans all of a sudden when Bull Durham came out?
I did. I heard from guys, which I really was happy to do.
Yeah.
There's a pitcher named Billy Kirkpatrick, who was known as Willie K, who was from Cal Berkeley, the least Cal Berkeley type guy ever. I played with 5 years in the minors, including, I think he won a zillion games in Rochester. And I get a call from the Blue, and he says, "Shelley, great fucking flick." And I called the studio. I said, "Can we put that on the ads? Great fucking flick, Willie K," because that meant as much to me as Pauline
For
Kael,
sure, right?
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And so, look, and I was just happy the movie was successful because it would mean I could work again,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, if you hit 300, you're going to have another season. If you hit 200,
Yeah,
And so
no, I know.
to me, it was practical. Okay, I can make a movie again.
Yeah.
And the problem is, then to this day, I get sent every baseball script in the world. Like, don't you think I'm going to write my own? If I'm gonna do a baseball
exactly,
movie?
right, yeah. I'm not doing yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get known as the sports guy.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to do sports movies because I think there's so much to explore in all the sports, the human drama behind them.
Yep.
It's not about the final score usually. It's about everything else.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
But sports movies are tricky because they need that foreign market. And, I can't do the soccer movie. I don't know soccer.
Yeah.
The Americans don't go to soccer movies anyway.
No,
So-
yeah. You wouldn't be good here.
So it's golf, baseball, basketball,
Yeah.
maybe a little football. So, but I have interests way beyond sports. But it sort of links us. It connects us. Sports.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of all the parents from T-ball on and high school and little league and then people gathering around a TV to watch the Dodgers or whoever.
Exactly.
And, so there is a connective tissue element to sports as theater.
Yeah.
And now I before I get on to now, so the movie changed my life in the fact that it was successful and I could work again.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Just like it in
I've been
300.
trying, though, for 30 years to get another baseball movie off the ground and can't. So it's still hard to get baseball movies made.
Yeah.
That's my Latin one.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Especially, I'm going to call you guys and go hang out with Trevor or something. I need somebody to give me some of this analytic spins. I mean,
I got you.
You got it?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm dialed in right now.
I want him to be so. My kid loves the analytics, by the way,
Yeah.
which I like, but I want the picture version of it because that's the really nutty stuff.
Yeah, and that's in again the direction of the game now. If you don't have that, they don't even listen to you. They don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, so truth be told, I've had a couple interviews with some pro ball teams, and the first question is how comfortable are you with Rapsodo, analytics, TrackMan, things of that nature, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And if your answer is I don't get it or I don't believe in it, I mean, they might as well just hang up the phone. You're done.
But 10 years ago, they would think Trevor's a nut.
For sure. I mean, gosh, 6 years ago it felt like. I mean, he was I don't know about outcast is the right word, but he was the guy that was like, oh, don't do what he's doing. He's doing the weird stuff. And now, you look in a bullpen and guys got the shake weights and they got the arm bands. And I mean, you can't go a minute without seeing that stuff.
When I show up to drop my kid off at his baseball practice, there's two pitchers. Every day I see them, they're throwing the heavy balls into the side of a wall because they're on their knees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
That's our team too. God, sounds like the same practice. Oh, that's good. Well,
yeah. So that was the real legacy as I got to make movies. And then I was a director and can tell these stories. But I forgot I was going to ask a question about, I've been asked a lot lately. In fact, occasionally I do a class at USC, which is now by virtual, but and one of them is about American, sports and mythology and business and media and all of that. And sometimes they'll show my movie or another movie. And the whole issue of the mental health aspects is coming up big because Tom Verducci wrote
Saw that.
interesting piece.
Yep.
But Ryan Sheriff,
Yep.
a really interesting story. Sheriff,
Mhm.
9 years in the minors,
Yeah. For this moment,
and he makes it, and he says,
can't do it.
"Can't do it."
Yeah.
I totally get that.
No.
By the way.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It wasn't my choice, but I get the choice. And the teacher at SC, he called me last week. Oh, we have coffee all the time, and he says, "In your day, were there people that you thought needed mental guidance?" I said, "First of all, there wasn't even non-sports people didn't go to therapists in my
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
I mean, that was
It was
just
frowned
got
upon.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an issue, and we didn't even have a trainer until
Yeah.
that way. So much less a head coach.
Yeah, yeah,
But I said, it is real because the pressure too much pressure is put on the kids by their parents early, and then the peer pressure is huge.
Yep.
I remember in 5th grade, I heard the kids in my son's 5th grade class talking about college. And, stop it,
yeah.
go play.
Yeah, I know, be a kid. Yeah.
But I do think the pressure, and then the media, which has both made sports people possible to make a lot of money in it, and is good because it connects us, is also adds pressure because every kid thinks that he's going to be Trevor Bauer or Bellinger or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
And that does create a need for mental coaching and counseling
Yeah.
and sports therapy. But the analytics, it's also interesting analytics. You watch the pro golfers warming up now, it's all analytics.
Yeah. I know.
The guy doesn't walk out there with his clubs, he walks with all his electrical equipment.
He's got his Rapsodo for
Launch
golf.
angle
Yeah,
and
launch
spin
angle.
and all that.
Yeah, if your spin is clean, like all
Yeah.
that stuff, what the adjusted length is, it's crazy. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. But I thought you hit something interesting on mental health. Is that guys now you could, my time you could fail, and you kind of cruised off in the sunset, and there was definitely an adjustment period, but now it's like it's on social media. Everything's on social media.
Yeah.
It's like you have kids that if they're not committing by their junior year, they think they're behind, and if they're not getting a full ride to SC or UCLA for baseball, then they're a failure. It's just a ton of pressure. I would agree.
Stop it.
I know.
I tell my kid, you're going to find something somewhere. It's going to be a good fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Find a coach you like and a program you like.
Yeah, exactly.
And a school you like.
Yeah, and have a blast.
And have fun. That's what I tell him every day when I drop him off.
Yeah.
As he's about to drive, and I have to drop him. And I said, first of all, remember the strike zone.
Yeah.
And have fun.
Yeah. You'll never get this time back.
Have fun.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's the one thing I wish I did more when I played. I was so focused on getting to the big leagues, I didn't have the fun, and a little bit in the last year, but I wish I'd had more fun.
Well, when you're struggling, it's not fun. And if you're struggling on a team that's struggling, it's tough.
Yeah.
And I've been on both where it's just all happened easily and fun. And
Yeah.
those are the guys tend to call me up still.
Yeah, exactly, right.
The fun years.
Yeah, the fun years. Yeah, that's when you got a 6 ERA on a team that won 41 games.
Yeah, it's hard to have a lower when you only win 41.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah. We weren't exactly kicking it defensively.
What team was that?
Clearwater, the Florida State League. Yeah.
Was that big ballpark?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Big ballpark. Not great defensive group behind me in a contact pitcher, so bad combo.
Yeah.
A lot of doubles and triples, and then some homers too. So I wasn't very good though. It wasn't their fault.
Well, you're a lefty, man. You got a chance.
Yeah. So that's what they told me my whole career. Here I am.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh man. Well, good stuff. I appreciate it. This is awesome. It's an honor.
You want to do best story real quick?
Oh yes. Okay. So the thing we end with is in kind of the there's a million of those stories, but so we do like a best story or good story from your playing days, something that you look back and that you would share with friends or family that it cracks you up to this day.
Well, this is going to be in the book because it ended up in the movie. But
Okay.
I'll tell you the real story of it.
Beautiful.
We're playing in Little Rock
Okay.
in the Texas League. And the problem with the Texas League, at least in those days, was there was almost no days off.
Yeah.
I mean, forget one a week. It was like one a month.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I played middle infield, So, you know, you're beat up by the end of the year. And was determined to play every inning, and, you know. And we're desperate for a day off. So it was raining at 4 a.m. We're in the hotel in Little Rock. And it's pouring, and we're all saying, God, wouldn't it be great if it rained all day and
Yeah.
we could get a day off?
I know that feeling.
So we had this idea, and this was 4 of us playing cards, and 2 of us were college grads. That's how stupid we were. We took a cab out to the ballpark, the old ballpark in Little Rock.
Yep.
And we climbed the fence in the rain. We told the cabbie to wait. And it was in a tough neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the tarp was on the field, was pouring. We go up there. Well, there's a reason 4 guys can't remove a tarp on a baseball field. It takes 40 guys or a motor.
Oh, man.
Weighs 100 tons.
Yeah, exactly. With water on it.
Yeah. So we failed. We climbed back over. The cab, of course, is long gone. And our ace reliever cut his finger on the fence. So we walked back in the rain. You get back to at dawn. We're wiped out. We go to the ballpark the next day. We have to play. We all go over 5. And it's miserable. But the idea stuck.
Yeah.
Now we're in Amarillo later in the season. And we had this great idea. Again, college guys. we need a night off. Well, first of all, we should have thought, do you really want a night off in Amarillo?
No, yeah, right, yeah.
There's nothing to do in Amarillo ever, and it's a lousy hotel.
Yeah.
But we were desperate, so we went out there and flooded the field. This was mid-season.
Okay.
We got a night off in Amarillo.
Okay.
We just turned on the sprinklers.
Yep.
Right? And I go back to the ballpark, and that's where I actually, it turned out it was Max Patkin night, even though we saw Max 2 or 3 times a year wherever he went.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of beers with Max at the bar,
Nice.
which I never forgot.
Yeah.
Told me his life story.
That's awesome.
Now it's the end of the season, and somehow that made the Sporting News. Didn't say the team. It said vandals turned on the sprinklers and flooded the field in Amarillo. So we're all going, we made the Sporting News. But nobody owned up to anything. So now it's the last. It's a Saturday game and a Sunday doubleheader to end the season in Amarillo.
Gosh.
We're Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to have a team that won the league, and we're like battling for 5th place.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a year that went bad for everybody. And Amarillo, which had a team that sent a lot of guys to the big leagues, Chris Spires.
Yeah, yeah.
Pitcher that won 20 games, guy from SC, and Dave Kingman.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they were loaded. Yeah.
But they were like in 6th place.
Oh,
we were
wow.
in 5th place. It's like one of those things.
Yeah.
And Amarillo also had a slaughterhouse behind the left field fence, and the window was blew in. So
Oh, gosh.
there'd been a truck that spilled, and so you're playing in this horrible park, and the wind's blowing in, which means already you can't hit it out,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're smelling the dead cattle.
Oh, my gosh.
And on Saturday, so we say, I'm in second base, and the shortstop comes over. I don't know if it was Chris Spires or it was the second baseman.
Yeah.
Chris Arnold, Chris Spires. And he says, "Hey, we heard you guys flooded this thing last time. You want to do it again and get out of the doubleheader tomorrow?"
Yeah.
And I'm going like, I don't know anything about it. He said, "Come on." And he said, "No, we'll join you guys."
Yeah.
There's a stupid promotion, and we're all
They need the game.
We want to go home.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'll put the word out, but and I actually didn't go because my father had actually come to town to drive back to the West Coast with me just because he never got to see me play. So I'm just hanging in the bar at the hotel, and both teams, the Amarillo Giants and the Dallas Fort Worth Spurs, a whole bunch of guys met, and apparently there were guard dogs on chains. The guy was ready.
Oh, gosh.
And they snuck in like commandos and turned on the sprinklers, got up on there's a place to sit below the scoreboard. They passed a joint around.
Oh, geez.
From what they tell me.
Yeah.
Flooded the field was just unplayable. So we show up the next day, and the owner says, "I don't care, we're playing 2 anyway." They brought in hay, and they put hay all over the dirt and the grass, and then they poured gasoline on it and set fire to it.
Oh, God.
Wait a minute. Then they bring in helicopters. There's an air base there.
Yeah.
They bring in a helicopter for the downdraft somehow to, I don't know what, it looked like Apocalypse Now. I have a photograph. The field is on fire and there's a helicopter there.
Oh my gosh.
We played 2. I got 5 hits
Oh yeah.
and got my average back up to from horrible to merely poor.
Yeah.
And because we're all just dropping these bunts down, they just plop in the mud.
Yeah, and you're running to first.
Yeah, and nobody can move to field a ground ball.
Oh my God.
So that became the flood the field scene in Bull
Yeah,
Durham.
beautiful. I love it. That's so awesome, and I can envision it happening. Like
Yeah.
you said, you some days you just need the rain out.
You need the rain out.
Oh my gosh.
Even in Amarillo.
Even in Amarillo. Well, this is awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's an honor, and like I said, just legend in both the the film world, but also the baseball world too. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah.